Yeah, it's pretty easy to see the numbers. When President Obama was in office, we were in the same type of crisis. They admitted that we were in a crisis, and then President Trump came in. He started building the wall. He started encouraging Border Patrol and Customs and Immigration, helping them do their jobs. These border agents were allowed to do their jobs, and we started making a dent in crossings, significant dent. And then, of course, President Biden on his first day basically says, everybody can come and we won't deport you. That message clearly is not helping us and is creating a border crisis that I think everybody would admit is happening.
The main topic of the hearing today, the press briefing today, is on the southern border. There's going to be a DHS representative there to talk about that. But until we have the new sound, let's go ahead and focus on Jen Psaki's response when she was asked yesterday to confirm the numbers when it comes to the crisis at the border. Here she is.
We've been very clear that there is an increase, that there are more children coming across the border than we have facilities for at this point in time. Those numbers are tracked by the Department of Homeland Security, so I'm just suggesting that you talk to them about specifics.
I mean, she has to know, right, General? Either she doesn't want to admit it or they don't want to know. There has to be some sort of cognitive dissonance right there in that answer.
Oh, absolutely. She's just basically pushing off the real question, which is, why did you open the border? And now you see the consequences. What do you think about the consequences that you have created with your narrative and your invitation to people to come to our country and the suggestion that you won't be deported? I think that's clear that they've created a problem. Now they don't want to answer the questions.
Let's talk about what Texas is doing right now, launching Operation Lone Star to combat the crisis. The governor, Greg Abbott, says National Guard troops will be deployed to these high-threat areas. Immigration is supposed to be a federal issue, but here you have the Texas governor feeling like he has to step in there. Unfortunately, I would imagine you agree that this is your only recourse here.
Yeah, we've been doing this for years. We did it under many other administrations, and we spent hundreds of millions of dollars of our own money trying to prevent illegal immigration. Now, the reality is there's a lot that we can't do. We can only focus on the violation of state law. So the governor, I applaud everything he's doing, but I sure wish that we had a president like Trump who was doing what needed to be done to protect our citizens, protect us from human trafficking, from drug trafficking, and from the increase in COVID that's going to occur as a result of these border crossings that we don't control now.
All right. Let's also talk, too, about what's happening with you and Twitter. They're now suing you. But first, let's talk about what you're trying to do, you guys down in Texas there, when it comes to these social media companies.
Yeah, so we have several different angles on this. One, we have a lawsuit against Google based on antitrust and the fact that they are not being honest with consumers about the information that they're taking, and that the control over the advertising market on the internet and people thinking that the search on the internet is free when in reality Google's making billions of dollars off of those searches. Second, we're investigating several companies, including Twitter and Facebook and Amazon, related to the platform Parler and what happened in relation to the president and in relation to what's happening to other people. And so we have filed, we've asked them for what are called civil investigative demands, which are like just questions about their policies. And as a result of asking for answers, they've decided they don't want to answer those questions in Texas, and they're going to take us to California and try to get a judge to block us from asking questions.
Unfortunately, we see that far too often, don't we, where you see people know how to kind of work the court systems to get a favorable judge or a favorable kind of venue. And I can't imagine you guys feel like California is the best or a fair place to have this determined.
Well, surely this is about Texas law. This is about enforcing Texas law and about our consumers being protected from deceptive trade practices. And the appropriate place for that is Texas and not a court in California. But here we go. I think we'll still be victorious because we have every right. Every state has these consumer protection laws, and every state has a right to ask these questions. If you're going to do business in Texas, you get to be questioned by Texas. If you're going to do business in California, they have a right to ask you questions. And so that's what we're doing here, and we have every right to do it. And I can't imagine a federal judge striking down all consumer laws across the